with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown, Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson. We'll be with you for the next couple of hours, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. Another interesting week of college football, at least a weekend of it, NFL football as well. A lot to talk about. Of course, Auburn falls to Arkansas at home, not where they want to be, 2-2. A lot of people, including myself, thought that they had a great chance to be 4-0. If not, we all expected them to be 4-0, and I think most people did. And now they find themselves 2-2 and facing an Oklahoma team that is in a bit of a quandary themselves, having to start or bench your boy, Jackson Arnold, and now sending the freshman out there, and apparently he's going to start again against Auburn. But they do have a really good defense. They fought to Tennessee over the weekend. Tennessee's defense is absolutely for real. They are a very good team, and so they will be something that everybody's going to have to deal with in the SEC at some point, I would imagine. A huge game this weekend in Tuscaloosa, Georgia, and Alabama, a top 5 matchup. The winner of this game, to me, has a strong claim for number 1. They should be, I would think, after Saturday. We'll see what happens with that. Some other interesting games around the country we'll talk about. Again, if we have time, we'll look at maybe some NFL games, talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Major League Baseball playoffs are coming up. Braves with a huge 3-game series with the Mets going on right now. Game 1 of that series. So that could either –
Who was winning?
It was 0-0 when I got out of the car. So I don't know. We'll see what
It's going to make me so upset if the Braves end up making the playoffs. They don't deserve to be there.
Sure they do. Why do they not deserve to be there?
They're what, 10 games out
They have
first?
overcome more obstles than any team in baseball this
I know.
year.
I hope
Just to
somebody
be.
can help the Braves out.
Just
Lord
to
of
be
mercy, they don't ever get the
scraping
breaks. Anyway, just go ahead. College football's in the middle of it.
I'm sorry.
The college football and NFL are like just going full bore awesome, and we got to sneak in some Braves talk because 150 games wasn't enough to find out who's number 1. We got to go 162. God.
You know, you live in your own little bubble, and
I live in my own football bubble.
I appreciate that. But those of us that have, an affinity for baseball, which there are many, the Braves are a big draw around here. It's
waning.
So, we hardly ever talk about them on this show.
You talk about, look, tomorrow, Wednesday, you got JJ on here. You and he can both talk about
and we will.
Chief Nakahoma all you want to. But we've got college football, like, hitting us in the face hard with interesting stuff.
That's true.
And, that was I'll tell you.
So you're wasting time telling me.
No, I can't wait. I'm ready to get into it. You tell me where you want to go first. I'm diving.
Okay. Well, just final, and if we have time. Can't promise it, but if we have time, we may do a little Alive or Dead.
People ask for it.
Pro Football Edition.
Oh, God.
All right. What you tell me. Where do you want to start? Obviously, Arkansas, that is the biggest story around here, I would imagine. I'm sure you dreamed about this night, coming in and talking about it.
I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed
it. I'll turn you loose, let you go.
I'm not going to.
I talked about it Monday.
I've got a neighbor that's an Auburn fan up the street from me in Birmingham, and, he said, come over. He went to the game. He took his oldest son to the game. And I said, man, you're already back. He said, I got out of there at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I knew what was happening. And so I go up there, and everybody's playing nice and talking nice. And then my wife, who just let it slip, boy, Luke has really enjoyed this afternoon. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. Of course I enjoyed it, and I'm an Alabama fan. But on the other side.
If Auburn were to beat Oklahoma and Alabama lose to Georgia,
you'd be thrilled.
Auburn fans would be thrilled.
Thrilled. That's the way it works.
And I would not.
That's why our rivalry's the best.
But I would not be sad.
That's why our rivalry is the best. So anyway,
We don't mind admitting it. That's
yeah, it's fine. So you know, I'll just tell you what I saw. First of all, and people can say I'm reaching here, Hugh Freeze something looks off. Other people have noticed this. Feinbaum's mentioned it. Other people, something doesn't look right. He just doesn't look like he's into it. Now, maybe he's putting all his efforts into recruiting. He's doing great in recruiting. But then the musical chairs with the quarterbacks, boy, it reminded me a little bit of Alabama Ole Miss 2015. And if you think about it, Alabama had 5 turnovers that day. Now, Arkansas had their own turnovers this past Saturday. Ole Miss had none back in 2015. But if you remember, Lane Kiffin was dead set on starting Cooper Bateman. So we did. And Ole Miss, we fumbled the opening kickoff. Next thing you know, Ole Miss got a big lead. We bring Jake Coker back in, who had been the starter the previous couple of games. He almost leads Alabama back to victory unbelievably. But he doesn't. And that team does go on to win the national championship, and that team did have Derrick Henry and a bunch of other NFL dudes on it. But this reminded me of that in the sense that, you know, it's almost like everybody told Hugh Freeze, you got to make a change, so he made a change. And then at halftime, he's like, I got to do something different. I need a spark. And my thought was, okay, that's fine. But if you think the spark is going to be the guy that you bitched, now, in Peyton Thorne's defense, he came out and played pretty well. The interception I didn't think was his fault. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I think the thing to do would have been let Hank Brown maybe take his lumps and see what happens. Because now you've got this amalgam of quarterback issues. And then Hugh Freeze comes out and says, hey, we got to quit turning the ball over, and we got to find some people to hold on to the ball. And then he says, what really hurts me is we'd beat Arkansas 9 out of 10 times. No, you wouldn't. Don't lie. Don't say that. That's dumb. You wouldn't. And even if you would, then what you should follow that up with is I coached so poorly that we lost this one time. If I were an Arkansas fan, I'd be enraged. I mean, I'd be like, that is how arrogant. The hubris of you to say that. That's nuts. You wouldn't do that. And you know what? You probably should, historically speaking. You probably should. But
considering that Auburn has beaten Arkansas, I realize this.
Didn't Arkansas won 2 out of the last 3?
No.
Didn't Arkansas beat them 2 years ago in Auburn? They didn't.
Maybe was that 2 years ago?
It was a Harsin year. I'm trying to remember.
No, it was 21, wasn't it?
It could. Well, they wouldn't have played him in Auburn in 21. They would have played him in Arkansas, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it was in. I can't remember.
I'll look it up.
Okay, that's true. Okay, fine. But I'm saying over the last 10 years, Auburn has won. You know.
True. Fair. Fair enough.
So,
and that's why I'm saying historically you should. But the point remains right now. Auburn's roster, while I do think it is more talented, especially in the long term to Arkansas, it ain't far from it. And now you can say that's Harsin's fault and that's Malzahn's fault and all that's fault and everybody else's fault, and that's fine. But right now, I think it was what somebody on a message board would say. Like, we'd beat them 9 out of 10. No, you wouldn't. And everybody keeps saying, well, if we just don't turn the ball over, we're undefeated. Well, let's play the game the other way. If Arkansas doesn't turn the ball over, they win that game by 30. So, I mean, you can do that both ways. And also look, why don't you just say we should have run the ball more? That would have been a much smarter thing to say. Because Jarquez Hunter, while he didn't have the best game that's ever been had, he was running hard. He played pretty well. And everybody says, well, the running backs weren't holding on to it. Damari Alston fumbled the ball. Okay, he fumbled. People fumbled. Derrick Henry's fumbled. Bo Jackson's fumbled. Damari Alston fumbled the ball. It's unfortunate. It got an unfortunate bounce for Auburn, very fortunate bounce for Arkansas. That happens. We've all seen it before. Okay? why didn't you run Jarquez Hunter more? If you're worried about your quarterbacks, you obviously didn't think Peyton Thorne was the passer that you wanted him to be. So why not just run the ball more? That would have helped. Get the defense off the field. The defense, I thought, played pretty admirably. I got to say, I thought they played, especially considering Champ Anthony went out. That injury was so gruesome, I don't think they ever showed it once.
They wouldn't show
a replay.
No.
Like, normally you see the replay, and that's when everybody goes, oh, God, we can't show that again. I think this was so bad. Now, the only thing I've seen is like a still shot from the upper left-hand corner, and it looked like he had two knees at that point. And I thought, I don't want to see any more of this. I mean, and kudos to him for having a smile on his face, you know, being rolled out of there in a cart, because, I mean, he had to, all kind of medicines or endorphins or something had to be running through him, because there's no way I feel like I'd be smiling.
No.
You'd hear me screaming from here.
No doubt. Look, let me respond to what you said. Okay, as far as that statement is concerned about beating Arkansas, yeah, okay, that's dumb. It was probably, you know, I'm not going to put it. I'm not even going to try to read his intent. If it was me looking at that, I would say, well, that's very hyperbolic, and that's born out of some deep frustration about what's going on. All right, the quarterback situation. Peyton Thorne, because he was so bad at the end of the year last year in that bowl game that he got benched, and you brought in Hank Brown, and he looked like Joe Montana for a quarter. Okay, so there was always, you know, if that doesn't happen, nobody even knows anything about Hank Brown. You probably don't bench Peyton Thorne, but for whatever, I mean, it just worked out that way, and he looked so good in that short amount of time. You wondered, okay, maybe he's just that kind of guy. Maybe he's just one of these guys that everybody missed. He was a 3-star, but you put him in the game and he just plays, and he's a Tom Brady.
It's possible.
It's possible. So, okay, Peyton Thorne comes out, he throws 4 picks, and they're bad picks. And you look at it and say, okay, well, we got to find out how good Hank Brown is. So you put him in there. He's not a wonderkind. Okay, he's a redshirt freshman. Doesn't mean he's not going to be a great quarterback. He may be one day, but as right now, he's no better than Peyton Thorne, because I mean, if he had not thrown that, and it was again, one of the interceptions he threw was a great play by an Arkansas defender.
The guy that was Metcalf, right?
That was beautiful.
It's like, how do you even see it?
Well, when you really slow it down, I mean, this guy, either he's NFL good or he's very lucky.
SEC Defensive Player of the Week.
You can see it. He is on a man running basically a deep cross, and he turns his head and sees Hank Brown start to cock his arm, and he stops. And that's why, I mean, he's meant to be pulled out of the play, so it's open, but he saw it, and he reacted to it as quickly as he did, and just got a finger on it to tip it, and that caused an interception. So I give him credit for that. That's wonderful. The other two, you cannot overthrow over the middle in the SEC. You just can't do it. That is 8 times out of 10 it's going to get picked. You cannot overthrow. That's a cardinal sin. The other cardinal sin, you cannot throw late to the outside.
He stared it down, too.
He stared it down, and the guy was just sitting down. Travis Williams baited him into that throw. That's 2 freshman mistakes. Okay, so those 2 are on Hank. The other one's not. If he had not thrown that last one right before the half, he comes out and starts the second half, I believe. But because he threw that, you throw 3 picks in the first half, you got to say, okay, look, well, you know, let's try something else. So I'm fine with the quarterback. I don't disagree with it's not an ideal situation, but I agree with this sequence of events.
Okay.
That's just me.
I understand. All right, then what I would say is, in my opinion, again, not a fan, obviously, but in my opinion, if I were really looking at this objectively, I would say, well, you know what? This proves to me Peyton Thorne's the best shot we got. Now, there are some people out there that say start Sam Jackson, who played at California as quarterback last year. You haven't played him at quarterback all year. That's not happening. Some people say burn the red shirt or Walker White. Well, I mean, I guess you could do that, but what if there's a better shot Walker White goes out there and stinks it up too, and you hurt his confidence? I mean, we see it in the NFL all the time. Guys like Bryce Young, they get in a team and they're like, oh, my God, I don't have anybody to throw to. And then your confidence is shot, and then you're not good no matter what you do. And so you don't want that to happen to him, right? Also, if you played another freshman, maybe that hurts you with recruiting of Deuce Knight or whatever. Now, I know that may be outside the box thinking, but I'm saying I get why he's not playing Walker White. Because if Walker White was good enough to be playing, we would have seen him by now.
Right.
Because you can play 4 games and then all the bowl games that you play in and not burn your red shirt. He would have played against Alabama A&M. If the same way, if you remember, Tua played just sparingly a few times, everybody's like, oh, my God, we got to get him in the game. We would have seen that same thing from Walker White. But
just by the way, you were correct. The Auburn has lost 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
But, again, 8 of the last
agreed.
10.
But see, it's sort of like saying, okay, if you had played Nebraska 20 times and 19 of them were back before the 1995.
I get it.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Get it. Yeah.
Because this Auburn squad now is having to be
is,
remade,
yeah.
right? And here's the other thing that really bothered me about Hugh Freeze, and boy, so people, and I was happy to see this because I feel like people don't give coaches enough X sometimes when they do this, but nationally, a lot of people picked up on this. Freeze seemed like he just blamed everybody but him, and all I could think was, talk about Cam Coleman, right? Cam Coleman goes out there. I mean, he's a fabulous player. Called him before. He's awesome. He's fantastic, but he's hurt. It's clear he's hurt. It's clear he was still. I mean, I don't know what percentage, 80%, something like that.
Does that turn his hands to stone?
No. But what and I've heard some other people say that. What it does is may slow him up just enough to not have his normal reaction time. I think that's very fair to say. That Cam Coleman's best is better than most everybody else's. We can say that. But if you're 80% of Cam Coleman might not be as good as even KLS or some of these other dudes, right? It might not be. And so when he turns, and again, he is a true freshman, no matter how good he is, he's a true freshman. When he turns and his shoulder's hurting and he's going a little slower than normal, it could cause something like that. If Cam Coleman's healthy, there's no doubt in my mind he makes that catch, right? So my point is, I think if Hugh Freeze had come out and said something like, that's probably on me. I should have known Cam wasn't ready for something like that. Now, everybody else may say, okay, yeah, you got to catch that. You got to catch it. And you do when you're one of the great ones, you got to catch it. But I think game 4 of your true freshman year in the SEC, I give the true freshman receiver a pass.
The only problem with that is
with a hurt shoulder.
It was the pretty much exact same play before he got hurt in the game against California that was tipped the same way.
Very fair.
So, I mean, look, and I'm not running down Cam. I mean, again, I understand he's a freshman. It was not a perfect throw, but it was very catchable. It hit his hands. You're a 5-star.
Catch it.
If you've got 2 arms, catch it.
Fair, okay? And I'm not absolving him of any guilt.
Look, we got to take a break, but let me come back. And I don't want to be in the business of trying to defend Hugh Freeze his entire tenure, but I'm not hearing what everybody else is hearing. Okay, with him throwing it, he doesn't ever take any of the blame. He takes the blame every time. He just calls out people for their mistakes. I mean, look, you could say it one way or the other. I get it, but look, we'll come back. We'll talk about it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We're your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
Red Flag Pest Control is Central Alabama's best in pest control with hometown service in Lake Martin and now the greater Montgomery area. When you see pests, throw down the red flag. Termites, bed bugs, carpenter bees, mosquitoes, or general pests. Red Flag gets the job done at the right price for your home or business. At Lake Martin, call 888-943-0353 or at Montgomery 334-265-1831. Red Flag, the best in pest control in Central Alabama.
I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Live program. Andy it's Auburn Blitz tonight. Andy and Luke here with you, brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR's Sports Bar and Grill. So go and check them out one day this week. Great food, great people, great atmosphere there at JR's Sports Bar and Grill. I think we'll go to the Mortgage Pro Eric McKinley hotline.
I hope this is for us. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, guys. How's it going? This is Terry.
Terry, what's up, bro?
I got a comment, and then I've got a question for y'all.
Okay.
The comment is I think we all, and myself included, were foolish to believe that they fixed everything at wide receiver by those great recruits was the only problem on that terrible offense. Offense is the problem in Auburn. It's going to be the problem in the foreseeable future. And until they get that fixed, these wackos that grew up in the 80s, that includes me, guys, can forget that. Play great defense and be sound in the kicking game. That's how we win. No, that ain't how you win right now. That is not how you win at all. That's got to stop. So we were foolish to believe that, myself included. There are more problems on offense than just that receiver position. It starts with the guy taking the snap and the two guys taking snaps. One of them is a fifth-year senior. Has he really gotten better? Or does this just show that there's that big a discrepancy between the Big Ten and the Southeastern Conference?
I don't think it's necessarily the discrepancy of the Big Ten and Southeastern Conference because he didn't come from Ohio State or Michigan or even Penn State, the class of the class, cream of the class, cream of the crop. What am I, top of the class? Something, I don't know. There's some class involved. There's some cream in there somewhere. There's something. And he didn't come from.
In one case, it's no class.
For instance, Kyle McCord went from Ohio State to Syracuse, and he's tearing it up. Now, I know Syracuse, I think, lost this past weekend, but he's doing really, really well. And Peyton Thorne came from Michigan State, and, how many Kirk Cousins? I mean, name some other great quarterbacks from Michigan State recently. They're not a lot.
And another thing, too, Peyton Thorne was not their first choice. He was their second. The one guy couldn't get in Auburn because of a major discrepancy.
That's
Grayson McCall.
Grayson McCall, who, by the way, hey, you may have been bailed out there because he is not exactly tearing it up at NC State either.
Yeah, but I still think he would have been a better fit.
Maybe, and I'll say this, Terry, here's another thing that we talked about during the break, Andy and I, and Andy said, Hugh Freeze didn't go out there and fumble the ball or throw the interceptions. I said, well, in a way, he did kind of throw the interceptions because he decided that he wasn't going to go get another quarterback. He said, I'm going to ride or die with this guy. And so when you do that, you're responsible for that. And
you know what it was? It was a used car salesman job. They tell you what's right with the car, not what's wrong with it.
Oh, good. That's nice. I like that. I want to use that.
The question I got for you guys, how come freshman quarterbacks seem to be doing well everywhere except Auburn? Not everywhere. Now, I admit that, there are exceptions. I'm not saying everybody. I should have said that. But Oklahoma's got a freshman quarterback. They're doing pretty good.
Whoa. But you only know about him.
The best team.
You only know about him because he came in because the other dude was doing so poorly. And he didn't do badly. He didn't embarrass Oklahoma. I don't know that he did well. He was okay. But who's the other freshman quarterback? I'm trying to think of some that are standing out. Lagway at Florida?
Looks pretty good.
No, well, Nico, I am Liava, I think, is he's a redshirt, though.
He hadn't played before.
Well, he played in the bowl game last year, and he had played in mop-up duty. So, I'm saying that's not nothing. If you have a whole year of practice under your belt, that's something. But who's another freshman that's kicking butt, Terry? Help me.
I insist, but I know what Trevor Lawrence was. I know what Jaden, the quarterback of the Eagles from Alabama.
Jalen Hurts. Tua was good as a freshman.
I know what they were. That's my point. Freshmen have had success at different places. For some reason, Auburn, even Bo Nix didn't have that great of success.
Bo's best days were at Oregon for sure. But it's tough right now, and that's what's so fun. That's what's so funny about college football is, we're 4 games in. It's hard to believe a month ago. All of us, including me, were convinced Auburn was going to be 4-0 heading into Oklahoma, and it was going to be just a knockdown, drag out, and Oklahoma would probably be undefeated because we all thought they'd probably beat Tennessee. And it's just weird how things have changed.
Well, it's disturbing and disgusting what's going on down here. I wish people would just wake up and realize the offense is the problem at Auburn, and it will always be the problem until they get it fixed. That's what seems to be. The people just refuse to admit that. I don't know why, but they do. Auburn is only successful when the offense is successful. And in today's game, you better have a successful offense. Okay, somebody's going to say, well, they gave it 24 points. Not bad. But you only scored 14. That's horrible in today's game.
Yeah, and you can make the case giving up 24 to Arkansas in the second half. Either.
Was that Peyton Thorne or was that Keandre Lambert-Smith?
I'll tell you what, on the long touchdown, which was really more than anything, it was probably a very bad play. The Arkansas defender took a horrible angle. They talked about it on the TV broadcast that he knew what was – he was aware of what was coming, and he just didn't defend it correctly. It was like an execution thing. But I think you got to give KLS a lot of props. That ball came in there hot. And he made the catch. So I would probably give as much credit to the receiver as the quarterback there.
And lastly, real quick, guys, would you rather go with a senior, a fifth-year senior who's constantly making mistakes, or a freshman who you know are going to make mistakes?
Andy?
I add a little bit more about it. Look, there's a lot of fit.
More about it, Andy. He took 5 interceptions.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying. Look, there's more to it than just one little aspect of it. I get what the point is, but right now, I think Peyton Thorne gives you the best chance to win. That's the bottom line for me.
Well, if he starts Saturday, I can guarantee you a loss. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Terry.
Look, here's the thing that Terry brings up offense. Auburn's offense is actually pretty explosive. It's about 10 times more explosive than it was last year. They're having, multiple explosive plays. They're one of the – now, I get it. They the competition. But even against just Cal and Arkansas, they can move the ball between the 20s. They are running the ball pretty well. They're throwing the ball pretty well. They're just throwing it to the other team. So many – I know you can't. You're saying you can't take, you got to take it and give it or what. You can't take away that they do those things. That's true. But I'm just saying, the offense is actually, they're right now number 27 in the country in yards per game. So, I mean.
Is that including Alabama A&M? And
that's all 4 games combined.
Okay.
But, I mean
again, so I think, first of all, the Alabama A&M thing, New Mexico, if you want to keep it in.
You want to take that, that's fine.
But New Mexico's also got what many consider to be the worst defense in the country in Division I. So I think you take both of those out, and then you start looking at it, okay? And again, I go back to, but Terry brings up an interesting point, right? I think on the surface, I think most people would say, hey, I'm going to start the freshman and let the rough end drag. The problem is now we're not in that kind of society. You got to win now. I don't think Hugh Freeze has the luxury to say, well, I'm really just sort of building for the future and see what happens. Because now, I mean, I think it's after 17 games, Harsin has a better record than Hugh did. Now, you can say Harsin had Gus's players and Hugh, but it's the transfer portal, baby. Hugh's responsible for a lot of dudes out there. I mean, that whole Gus Malzahn didn't recruit lineman thing and Harsin screwed his thing, all those stuff gets thrown out the window with the portal. It just does. And
it shouldn't.
It probably shouldn't, but it does. I'm saying
only in people's. I mean, if you want to choose to believe that, I choose to believe the truth of my own eyes.
The truth of your own. Now, let me ask you this: then I'll ask it another way. Do you believe Auburn's roster is more talented than Arkansas's and Cal's?
Definitely.
Okay, so the excuse isn't anything to do with recruiting right now. Those two. Now, if they had lost to Alabama and Georgia so far, you'd say, I get it. But they've lost to 2 teams that are in a talent deficit to Auburn.
Yes.
That's the thing. And so now that's why I say I don't know that Hugh Freeze has the luxury to say, I'm going to try Hank Brown or I'm even going to try Walker White and see what happens, maybe build for the future. Because those guys are obviously going to take their lumps. Hank Brown already has. Peyton Thorne's going to throw some picks, and he's also in a big game, probably going to get you 90 yards passing, but he's going to help you running. I mean, think about Peyton Thorne last year. He had some key runs against Georgia and Alabama that gave Auburn even a chance to be in those games, some very key runs. And I don't know that anybody else, maybe Walker White can do that, but again, a true freshman coming in is difficult. And so I'm just saying I don't think he has the luxury of saying I'm going to start a redshirt freshman who's already thrown 3 picks and a half and see what happens. I think he has to go with Peyton Thorne, and I do believe Peyton Thorne gives you the best chance to win. It's just not a great chance, and the fans are tired of that.
I get that. That's for sure. However, I go back to, and I say, if I'd ask anybody, I mean, just humor me. If Auburn doesn't turn the ball over 5 times against Cal, do they win the game? In your opinion?
I mean, yeah, but
do they not
again, that's
turn
so
it over
hypothetical.
5 times against Arkansas and everything else equal? Do they?
Then let me give you a hypothetical.
Okay.
If Alabama doesn't turn the ball over 5 times against Ole Miss in 2015, does Hugh Freeze even have this job? But what I'm saying is the turnovers are part of it. You've got to deal with it, and usually a good coach can. Now 5-0 is one thing, but Arkansas also turned the ball over. Arkansas had their own problems. Arkansas didn't do. Forget the turnovers.
Arkansas turned the ball over twice. Okay. So if Auburn's not -3 in turnovers,
I don't know if they went. If it's 3-2, do I think? Oh, I don't know. I think it's a coin flip.
I think it would. Look,
They won by 4. They won by 10, right?
6 plays were the difference between Auburn winning 31-17 and losing 24-10 or 24-14.
24-14.
That's 6 plays.
Well, and I would also
I'm not
throw
just
in there.
talking about. I'm not.
I
just
would throw
talking
in there
about
that
the
fake
turnovers.
punt. Which has anybody owned up to that yet? Like, was it Oscar Chapman or was it called?
It looked like it was an option.
I wondered why nobody addressed. I hadn't heard it. Now again,
because they turned it over in the next couple of plays.
I'm just wondering why nobody owned up to it. Like after the game,
because nobody cared. Because Arkansas turned it right back over.
But isn't it important? I mean,
it
again,
is.
I think
I'm
it's
just
important.
telling you why they didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought it was.
And did you see, because it was so
odd. If it's 4th and 2 and you do it.
It was 4th and
10.
10. Well, and the way he did it, he does that Australian style where he runs over, and then it's like he paused and he thought, I better not. And then he said, well, they told me to, so he took off.
Well, I think he thought he saw a lane, and to his, credit, he got 7. He needed 10. He got 7. So,
If it had been Colorado, Nebraska from several years ago and he got a 5th down, it'd been great.
It's true. But again, you know, I know that if and buts and all this, and I'm fine with that, and I understand. I'm just saying, if Auburn can control and tamp down this unbelievable, unprecedented amount of turnovers, 10 turnovers in these 2 games, I think that they have a they're at least competitive to a fourth quarter game.
Agree.
With practically everybody left on the schedule. Now, I mean, there may be a couple of exceptions, but certainly Saturday, I think they can be very competitive.
There's another.
It wouldn't surprise me if they beat Oklahoma if they just could play clean. Now, we can argue about why are they turning the ball over so much. Is that got to do a lot with coaching? Is it just the guys are making the bat? Is it all about the quarterback? Is it not? There's a lot of blame to go around.
But now, let me say this. It also could be, you know, the fable of the scorpion and the frog. You know, the frog and the scorpion's like, hey, I got to get across the river. Frog says, you can ride on my back, just don't sting me. He gets halfway to the river. The scorpion stings him. He said, why'd you sting me? We're both going to drown. He said, I'm a scorpion. That's what I do.
It's his nature.
What I'm saying is that it's just like Ole Miss never making it to the SEC championship game when they had a chance in 2015. And they lost to Arkansas when they shouldn't have in double overtime or whatever, and it was a crazy play. And I always argue they would have found another – they would have lost against Mississippi State the next week or something because that's what they do. And until you stop doing that, that's what you are. And so right now you say, well, if Auburn didn't have 5 turnovers, you assume everything else would go well. Or if the better way to say it is if Auburn didn't have those 5 turnovers. My argument would probably be they'd probably find some other turnovers to have. Or they'd probably fake a punt they shouldn't.
The problem with that is the guy was 3 yards away from the end zone. It's not going to turn out any different. Just don't fumble.
I'll say this. Cole Pinkston.
Every one of the turnovers except one was inside the red zone of Arkansas. They were not only driving, they were driving to score, and that's when they turned the ball over. That's why I think it's legitimate to say that changed the game. Because if not, I mean, I knew you can't absolutely guarantee points, but you can at least, they'd get a field goal out of that.
It'll drive you mad because, again, I go back to Alabama, say, 2005 or 6 when Chris Capps was playing tackle. And all I could think was, I'd rather just play with 10 people. At least I would confuse somebody going, why isn't there a tackle here?
Yeah.
And then that may slow him up. But, see, I realized that's what this team is. This team is going to put somebody in there in a position to lose because that's what they are right now. And until you break that cycle, and the way you break that cycle is very difficult. Alabama did it with Nick Saban, who came in there with a sledgehammer. But it's difficult to break through that cycle.
Well, Auburn hasn't always been this self-destructive. Like I know we've had, several bad years in a row here, but this team is more self-destructive than any I think I've ever seen, at least in the beginning here. So I get what you're saying, and I think this team is specific in that. And my fear is that now that you're on this road that, the defender makes an unbelievable, it happens to be a tip ball here, and it's an interception. It happens to be somebody just rips the ball out, and you did everything right, but they made the play, and everybody in the stands and everybody on the Auburn sideline goes, oh, God, here we go again. And everybody tightens up, and everybody plays a little slower, and then you're cooked, and you got no chance to win the game. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so that's my fear now.
Well, look, you know what it's a lot like? This just dawned on me. Last Friday when Rick Neuheisel was picking his winners on his XM radio show, he said, I'm picking Michigan over USC. And I think the coach was like, man, USC favored by 4. They got all the offense. They've already proven they can, beat a quality team in LSU. And Michigan got buried by Texas at home. And he said, yeah, but he said, winning's just in Michigan's DNA right now. They'll find a way. And they won the game with 32 yards passing. They won the game by driving the length of the field at the end, doing nothing but running the ball, because that is their DNA. And right now, turnovers are on Auburn's DNA. Now, how do you get them out of there? I don't know. But just saying if we don't have them, we win, I think is a fool's errand, because they're going to have them. That's what they do right now. Now, if they can break the cycle.
I can live with 2.
If they break the cycle, things will change.
Here,
but it's tough. Michigan had the cycle of losing to Ohio State forever. They broke the cycle, and now they figured it out. I think that says as
much about USC and their sorriness on defense, and that's who
but
they
that's
are.
their DNA.
That's who they
that's
are.
Their DNA.
Yeah, I agree. Here's how you break it for Auburn. Throw it to the guy in the blue jersey. All right.
Or hand it off.
All right. Well,
hand the ball off.
We could run. We only ran about 26
You only
times.
had one fumble. You had 4 picks.
Yeah. No, we got to take a break. We're way past. We'll be back with
commercials
more of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin, comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout Central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
Red Flag Pest Control is Central Alabama's best in pest control with hometown service in Lake Martin and now the greater Montgomery area. When you see pests, throw down the red flag. Termites, bed bugs, carpenter bees, mosquitoes, or general pests. Red Flag gets the job done at the right price for your home or business. At Lake Martin, call 888-943-0353 or in Montgomery, 334-265-1831. Red Flag, the best in pest control in Central Alabama.
I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Only about 15 more minutes in the first hour of tonight's program.
We're going to knock out the whole show in the first.
Yeah, we might do that. Thank you so much for being with us. We're brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by Sunshine Heating and Air. For all your heating and cooling needs, give Kevin Keel and his crew a call today. Sunshine Heating and Air.
I just showed Andy, but there is a player at a community college. I'm going to pull it up. And he might have the best name I've ever heard. He's from Holmes Community College. His name is Christavius Savior. He spells it C-H-R-I-S-T.
It's going to be Christavius.
Then Avius Savior. But, and so everybody has had a lot of good follow-up tweets to this. Covering the secondary with the blood of the Lamb, truly in his name, image, and likeness.
Wow.
Every one of his Hail Marys works. He turns water into Gatorade. A lot of
Immaculate reception here.
immaculate. Somebody said he's the true immaculate receptionist.
Okay.
Receiver.
Well, yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Any thoughts? By all means, give us a call 256-234-6221. Georgia and Alabama this weekend in Tuscaloosa. What's your feeling on that game going into it?
Man, I'm going to tell you, I felt good all summer. I feel good. I feel less good right now, and part of the reason is because Georgia
Could be the tacos.
Yeah, probably because Georgia played so poorly against Kentucky. Now, it shouldn't change anything because, frankly, they weren't playing really well against Clemson in the first half either. I think they even got off to a slow start in their second game to a degree. But and I thought, okay, Georgia's defense, they've lost a lot, all this other stuff. And then my cohort on Locked on Bama, Jimmy Stein, did like this great write-up on Bama Online about the defense. And I was like, oh, my God, I know all of those names. I was like, that scares me. I'm always going to know all the Auburn people and all the Bama people, right? I'm never going to always know all the Georgia people, but I knew all those names from recruiting, And I was like, dang it. I worry because they're getting like Mikal Williams back. He's awesome. Samuel Mondon is a good player. They just got dudes everywhere. They just do. Alabama's got dudes too. And there's a reason this is essentially a kind of close to a pick'em game. It's Georgia by 2 right now. It's between 1.5, 2.5. But boy, it's what a matchup. At night, it's, the weather should be no problem. All that hurricane stuff should be out. It looks like it's going to miss that area, at least for that day. You got 2 Heisman-worthy quarterbacks going at it. You got, Ryan Williams, who's kicking butt right now, going against an incredible secondary. It's going to be
Georgia only giving up 91 passing yards. That is like from 1950s.
It is now, and it's even more impressive now that Cade Klubnik and Clemson have gotten it together. Klubnik and Clemson just laid it on NC State. They laid it to Appalachia State, and you're like, whoa. Well, Appalachia State is.
I'm glad I didn't put any money down on NC State.
Yeah. Boy, I screwed that up, didn't I? Look, that one's on me. If y'all took NC State, to win the ACC, that's on me. I'm sorry. I owe you one. But I thought NC State would be much better. I had belief in Grayson McCall. I had belief in that conception.
So you're saying it could have been worse.
I'm saying it could have been worse. But anyway.
Georgia with no turnovers this year, which is, let's see, 14. Okay. They have 0. Giving up less than 1 sack a game. They and their defense a little uncharacteristic, giving up over 110 yards rushing a game, but still.
Now let's also preface this, okay? The passing statistics are skewed because when you play Kentucky, they just don't pass the ball.
Griff Vanderbrock.
Griff Vanderbrock, as we call him. He decides not to throw the American forward pass.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand how to do it.
Maybe he ought to go to Michigan.
Let's also say this, that, it was very close if Kentucky returned a pick six or a scoop and score, whatever you want to call it, against Georgia, and that could have beaten Georgia. Now, Alabama also had its minor scare with South Florida too, so you got to take that into account. But man, it's going to be something. This game's going to be nuts. President Trump's going to be there, or former President Trump, however you want me to say it. I'm not trying to make it political, but I'll say this: I wish he wasn't coming because the security's going to be through the roof. And I just got invited to the game today, so I'm super excited to go. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, is it just going to be better if I show up in a see-through jogging suit? So I'm like, I don't have anything,
That'd be a good idea. Let's go ahead and take another quick break. We'll squeeze another one in before we close out the first hour. Don't go anywhere. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Dadeville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you, closing out the first hour of tonight's program. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us each and every Tuesday evening. 256-234-6221 is our number here. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind, or dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page, that's Sports with a Z, and comment away. Tennessee at Oklahoma. Tennessee wins that one 25-15. I caught a pretty good bit of this one. Tennessee pretty much dominated the game. The score is even a little – it's not really conducive or a good example of what actually happened.
You know, I think Tennessee, everybody thinks of them as this potent offense, and they have one. But I think they realized, hey, this crowd can't score on us. And, you know, points are at a premium, so let's just be smart about this. And then when Oklahoma, it looked like for all the world they had a shot. They got a turnover. It was 10-3, I think. They get the ball turned over inside the Tennessee 5-yard line, and they turn it right back over.
I mean,
boy, after watching Auburn, Arkansas do that, it was very surreal to see that.
It was. That was, I think, Auburn turned it over, Arkansas turned it over, we turned it over right back. So that was, yeah, thanks for bringing up that memory. So Tennessee may be the real deal. They definitely look like a formidable bunch.
I'm
just saying their defense. I
think their defense is great.
Yeah.
But let's not anoint them head of the class yet. Let's see what Oklahoma does this weekend.
I'm not putting them at the head. I'm just saying
because Oklahoma,
they're not a joke.
Look,
they're not.
Everybody's predicting Auburn get blown out this weekend. This is the time you bet on Auburn. If you're a bettor, this is the time you bet on Auburn. Everybody's doubting them. Everybody's woe is me. Oklahoma's going to come in there mad and blow them out. Hey, Oklahoma's starting a true freshman, y'all. Oklahoma's got some problems on their offensive line too. Now their defense is pretty salty. I mean, Tennessee maybe hit 2 big plays, but and Oklahoma's defense they're tough. I don't think they've given up a run of longer than like 11 yards or something this year, something
like
crazy
10
like
yards,
that.
yeah.
So, but look, Tennessee was impressive. I was totally on board with their jumping Missouri in the rankings. You know, Missouri, again, you talk about in your DNA. Missouri goes to the wire with Vanderbilt, and you talk about Vanderbilt's DNA. They find a way, even though they played well above their heads, at the end, when you need just something simple, they shank it. It wasn't just a miss. That was an all-timer.
Yeah, that was a McGinty 1984 kind of miss. But for those of you that are initiated, you know what I'm talking about. That Missouri kicker had missed 3 medium field goals. He lines up in overtime and just nails it.
Yep.
The Vandy kicker
had kicked a 50-something yarder, right? Yeah.
Earlier in the game, he lines up and duck hooks it. I mean, that you just like.
It looked like Andy Papanostos.
The look on Pavia's face was like, oh, that's what y'all were talking about. Yeah.
I came to Vanderbilt. Yeah, that really, and it was, and I was glad Missouri won because I was
pulling for Vandy, man. I
understand, and I understand a lot of people doing that, but I just think it's good for the league if Missouri stays unbeaten as long as they can until they face a real obstacle. And then, Tennessee's looking good. Bama and Georgia undefeated.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss is up there. Ole Miss still hadn't played anybody either, though.
No. They literally have not played. I think Wake Forest may be the best team they've played. Right?
Yeah, and they beat them so bad. Wake Forest said, we don't even want to see y'all next year.
Florida got them a big win over Mississippi State.
Whew, that was a game only a mother could love. That was –
well, I mean,
I watched it. It was tough. I didn't watch it all, but I watched enough to go, this is bad football.
Well, I looked at the stats, and I had to do a double take. Mississippi State came into this game averaging about 50 yards rushing a game. They had 240 rushing yards against Florida in this game. Now, of course, they lost their quarterback, and I think he's done for the year.
Oh, he tore up his shoulder. He's done. He's already had surgery, I believe. Blake Shapen, he was looking – by the way, doesn't Blake Shapen sound like somebody who opens from Morgan Whalen?
What's it? Who was it? I don't know. Mary Shapen Carpenter.
Mary Shapen Carpenter, yeah.
I think that was John Shapen, C-H. But anyway.
Well, it doesn't make it.
It doesn't make it.
So
he wrote Cats in the Cradle, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But anyway, that's beside the point. Mississippi State's not good. And
they're not only not good, I'll tell you, that makes me even more disappointed that the SEC got rid of the Bama-Mississippi State rivalry for these 2 years because I feel like you want to chalk up a dubs.
Yeah.
State's got problems.
Thank goodness. Well, never mind. ULM at Texas, no issue. Arch Manning did. I mean, that shows you freshman. Arch Manning's great, but throws 2 picks.
He is a redshirt freshman.
Throws 2 picks.
No, he is a redshirt freshman.
Still, though, you don't play. I don't care how much practice you got.
I'm saying everybody keeps saying freshman. I'm like, he's really been there 2 years.
He has.
Yeah.
But he's still got an F by his name.
Yeah. I understand.
Ohio at Kentucky. Nah. South Carolina
what
got
was the final on that?
41-6.
Okay.
Akron only had 154 yards, and South Carolina rolled up.
Yeah, South Carolina. If you feel for any team, I feel for South Carolina.
How about Robbie Ashford? 15 of 21, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns.
You had him back?
No. This is what he does against Akron.
I know.
He plays an SEC team. He'll throw for 110 yards.
Well, Peyton Thorne says, what about me?
That's right.
But Yeah, I feel bad for South Carolina because, boy, the more I think about it, and I know, like, I hate that every week somebody has something to say about the officials, but South Carolina really got jerked around by the officials in that LSU game. They really got hosed. That roughing the passer, that was just or unnecessary roughness, which was just not unnecessary roughness. And then of course, they had a chance to kick the field goal and take it to overtime, and their kicker missed it because of what? DNA.
Yeah. That's probably accurate. All right, we're going to go ahead and close out the first hour of tonight's show, but never fear, we'll be back with hour number 2 right after these messages.
With summer here, the kids out of school, and fun at the lake, illness or injury can strike at any time. Whether you're on vacation or just don't have time to go see your primary doctor, visit your friends and professionals at Ivy Creek Urgent Care, located at Highway 49 South, next to Stillwater's main entrance, with a rotation of 4 professional doctors and 3 nurse practitioners. They honor all walk-ins, get you in, properly treated, and out swift so you can be back to the summer fun fast. When you need urgent, see Ivy Creek Urgent Care, Daveville. No appointment needed.
The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rate. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekends. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care, open 7 days a week. Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson, and got about an hour left in the show tonight. It's been a fun one so far, fun-filled. One of these days, I've been tying in song titles to my column each week, and last week was The Cold Hard Truth by George Jones. Auburn is not a good team. This week, it's Got to Get Better in a Little While by Eric Clapton. So I'm hoping maybe better times are ahead. At least there'll be sometime. It'll turn around eventually. Okay, just to break things up a little bit, how about a little Alive or Dead? This is the most requested segment we ever do. I do not. Okay. That's too. We're going against the grain here. Alive or Dead, because it's better if they're alive.
It depends on who they are.
This is true. Well, that may be true. Okay, NFL, basically kind of Hall of Fame edition.
Okay.
All right. Chuck Bednarik, for which the trophy is named, Chuck Bednarik.
If you got a trophy named after you, you got to be dead.
You would think.
He's alive.
He is
dead.
Dead.
As a hammer. Yeah.
Dead as a hammer.
Dead is the trophy which bears his name.
But he just died like 2015, I think.
Did he give the trophy to people?
At one time when he was alive.
It'd be weird now.
It would be weird.
Like they just
awkward,
rolled him out in the coffin.
Yeah. Like the old guy in Great Outdoors. You know?
Yeah.
Marv Levy, head coach of the
Buffalo Bills.
4 Buffalo Bills, lose 4 Super Bowls in a row in the early 90s. Marv Levy.
I feel like,
coach.
Look, I really want to say alive, but I seem to remember his dying.
99 years old, still getting it done, Marv Levy.
Jeez. What?
He's got some Bob Barker blood in him. Or
Bob Barker's dead.
He just died.
Yeah.
Not too long ago. That or Nosferatu, one or the other. All right, Y.A. Tittle.
Oh, sweet Jesus. He's so dead. There's no chance he's alive. If your name is Y.A., you're dead.
You would think.
He's dead.
Yeah,
he is dead.
Just died literally 2006, 17.
Well, wait, why didn't people go talk to him?
I don't know. Well, I mean, surely they did. It's got to be on film somewhere in NFL films. But Y.A. Tittle.
Because if Y.A. Tittle was alive in 2010, I think it'd be so cool. Like if you just were on Twitter, even if he just had to throw it like that, I would be like, I caught a pass from Y.A. Tittle.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Come catch a pass at the Alex City, the Auburn Mall, the Y.A. Tittle. All right, Dandy Don Shula. Don Shula.
I'm pretty
Hall of
sure
Fame
he has
coach.
recently passed.
Really? No. 2020 got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
COVID?
I don't know. But 2020 got a lot of them. I don't know if it was COVID, but Don Shula no longer with us.
Yeah, I was a big Dolphins fan growing up. I loved Tony Nathan and Bob Baumhauer and they had Dwight Stevenson. They had all these Alabama guys that Larry Rose and I used to
Captain Crunch.
Well, and I used to love them because they also were the team that the NBC affiliate when they had NFL at the time. That's the team we always got. And we always got the Falcons. I was like, God. And the Falcons just stunk. And I was like, why? Why do you keep showing this? And then they also, at that time, they kept showing the Bears for the national game because the Bears were the thing. And they always talked about the Bears and the Green Bay rivalry. And I was like, the Bears beat them every time. Right. And I still have this image in my head of one of the – I'm going to look it up. It had to be in the 86 or 84, 85 season. A Green Bay – so Jim McMahon completes a pass. And, the play's over, clearly over. They're bringing the ball back, and the defensive lineman who just missed a sack picks him up and slams him. And they're like, yeah, that's a penalty. Now you would be arrested.
That was 1980.
Back then that was called just an unfortunate moment.
Yeah.
Maybe a 10-yard penalty.
That was either 86 or 87.
Do you remember it?
I do. I remember the play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one play. Well, there's a couple, but that's one of them that just sticks out in my mind. I was like, I can't believe that guy just did that.
Because the camera was now they've also got all these cameras. He
looked like it was a wrestling
Yeah,
move.
it really was. Jim McMahon was looking at the play's over.
Yeah.
And the guy sort of looks at him like, I didn't sack you, but I still feel
and it was AstroTurf.
Yeah, it was AstroTurf.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean
it was freezing cold.
It was. Yeah.
I remember oh man, I remember all this stuff.
But yeah, because that knocked him out for the season.
Yeah.
And
so it had to be that.
I think it was 86 or 87.
Because it had to be
post
because they won it all in 85. Yeah,
it was post Super Bowl.
Well, isn't that something that is that Bears team the most iconic Super Bowl winner? Now the Jets are up there, 69. The Dolphins 72 are certainly in the discussion.
Yeah.
But I mean, for our generation, I was born in 72. You were born a little bit after
75.
that. That's the one I'll never forget. That's the one Super Bowl I'll never forget. Now, I can remember, the Bills missing a field goal and all that stuff. And I remember it was in the early 90s. I remember the guy who gets the ball knocked out of his hand after Dallas has beaten Buffalo so bad.
Yeah.
What's his name? help me. But I just remember saying, I remember
Leon Lett. Was that Leon
It was
Lett?
Leon Lett.
Okay.
Because the very next year, they're playing the Dolphins in Dallas. It's snowing.
Yeah.
And
Don Beebe, wasn't it?
yeah, it's Don Beebe. And the Dallas blocks the field goal, but it still goes forward. And he runs down for some reason to try and cover it. The Dolphins get it and end up winning the game.
That's right, Stojakovic. He got it. Yeah.
I can remember all that. And I'm going to miss 72% of the live or deads.
Raymond Berry.
Okay.
Speaking of the 1985 Super Bowl.
He was the head coach of the New England Patriots. And that was back when they had that. I hated that logo.
I loved that logo.
First of all, I hated that logo because they beat my Dolphins to go to the Super Bowl. That would have been the best Super Bowl of all time.
It really would. That would have been a rematch because they lost on Monday Night Football.
They lost by 14.
Yeah. Well, Jim McMahon didn't play in that game.
He didn't, but they still lost by 14. And they still had the 46
knock
defense.
Out your starting quarterback.
Yeah, but they still had
put in Mike Tomczak.
But they still had that defense that was disgustingly good.
That was the one game that. And well, look, Marino's a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Yeah,
he lit him up that night. He really did.
Duker, Clayton.
All right, Raymond Berry. He was a great tight end, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
People
didn't he
don't
play
realize
for the Patriots?
I think he did.
He's dead.
He is alive.
My God,
that's unbelievable. Yeah, but he is alive.
I bet he's at home going, I wish I was dead. I wish Luke was right.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm 106. If somebody would please give me just one pill of cyanide.
You better draft.
Does that come in a pill?
Chris Stevius is savior. What? All right, Roger Staubach. Great quarterback for the
Navy
Dallas
and then Cowboys. Yeah.
Heisman winner.
He's dead.
Roger Staubach alive and well. Alive and well. He came to Elliott City. I think he was in like the Pop Warner parade.
Well, he was. I remember it because that's back when Jim Fowler used to stay at my parents' house when I was a little boy. Jim Fowler of Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom. And
he was on with Kramer.
Yeah, he was. And he brought up like a hawk that would come and swoop down on the golf course and pick up mice and stuff. And it was cool.
Yeah. That was always fun. You know, who was it? Marlon.
I'll tell you another funny story.
He would always be in the studio.
Marlon Perkins would be like.
Marlon Perkins would say, look at this, alligator right here.
It's the most deadly creature in the world.
Now Jim's going to antagonize it and dive in the river.
He was the crocodile hunter before the crocodile hunter.
He really was.
But I'll never forget when Bear Bryant retired. And I was like 11. I didn't really get it. And my dad said, well, Ray Perkins is going to take over. Do you know Ray Perkins? I said, yeah, why is the guy from Mutual of Omaha coaching Alabama? And Dad said, oh, God. We got to call him.
Okay.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Good. How's it going?
I'm fine. Oklahoma, I think, has a good defense in the nation because they said, they only helped Tennessee to 25, and they've been scoring like 60-something points a game.
Yeah.
They are. They're stingy for sure.
And Andy, don't get offended by this, but we might not only win but one more game unless you have Monroe.
Well, I guarantee if we turn the ball over multiple times for the rest of the year, we will not win but one more game. If we can cut that out, I don't know if we can, but if we can stop that, at least we'll have a chance.
Yeah, I hope so. And one more thing, they said Brett Favre was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
Is that right?
Brett Favre,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he just today announced, right?
Yeah, just today.
Yes,
my goodness.
Yeah, it's awful. Hey, thanks for your phone call. Appreciate you. Yeah, that is awful. And I know some people are mad at Brett Favre about whatever, the gymnasium thing, and he skirted some money or whatever. But, I mean, you don't want to wish that on anybody. And I hate it when – I'll tell you something. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to say any of that. But I found out something about a player I really like a lot. He's in the pros now. And I was like, I really wish I didn't know that. Like I talked to a friend of mine that had some legal stuff. And he just said, here's sort of the breakdown. He didn't tell me the whole thing, but he told me enough where I go, I wish I didn't know it because I like it better. See, now we live in this information society where you know everything about people. I kind of like having my athletic icons not knowing everything. Mm-hmm. I really like Kobe Bryant, but every time you bring up Kobe Bryant, there's always one person that brings up that incident in Colorado and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of wish I didn't know that. I don't mind him getting punished for it. I don't mind him whatever. If he did something, get punished for it, pay for the crime. But it's sort of like when we found out more about recruiting stuff and now we know all this NIL stuff. It's like, hey, I liked it better when we felt like we couldn't say some horrible things about them because they're kids. Now everybody's like, well, they're getting paid millions more than I am. I'll say what I want to. And part of me is like, yeah, you probably should be able to, but I still don't like it.
Nobody likes to see how the sausage is made.
That's right.
All right, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Foshie's Watts on Dable Road in Alexander City is always making improvements, making it bigger, like making their pellet ice a 10-pound bag for $2. How about their biscuits? Have you tried their biscuits with regular cheese or hoop cheese with sausage and ham and salmon, and throw an egg on there and you got a happy person? And don't forget about they have propane and wood. That's Foshie's Watts, Dable Road, Alex City.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
At Majestic Caverns, we believe in the power of unforgettable experiences. At a cool 60 degrees year-round, America's most historic caverns guarantees an enjoyable escape. But it doesn't stop there. With over 20 above-ground attractions, including 5 new ones this year, and our Cave Cafe, which offers delicious drinks and plenty of food options. And don't miss our exciting event, Libertas. On June 29th, July 6th, and July 13th, enjoy live entertainment and much more. At Majestic Caverns, your unforgettable adventure awaits.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you, playing a little Alive or Dead. And speaking of that,
all right. So we just watched. We found the video of the late hit, and it's as bad as I remember.
Just as brutal as that.
I mean, and now I think there'd probably be a year-long suspension. I really do. You may be tossed out of the sport because I mean it probably did change McMahon's career. But referee Jerry Markbright said this. He said, after the play, I took a hold of Charles Martin's arm and said, 94, you're out of the game. I'm ejecting you. And he pulled away and said, I'm not going anywhere with you. I looked at him, and tongue-in-cheek, I said, if you don't come with me, I'm going to let the Bears kill you. He said, let's go.
Oh, my goodness. And there were some guys on there that would have.
Well, what's funny is we were watching the old YouTube video, and Singletary goes up to him, and Martin's a huge human being. He dwarfs Singletary, but you could see Singletary talking to him like, okay, as soon as this game's over, I'm killing you and your entire family and anyone you've ever talked to. That's what it felt like he was saying.
I mean, Steve McMichael and Dan Hampton and, you know, good grief.
They probably even let Walter Payton go in there. The refrigerator Perry?
Yeah, Richard Dent. Those guys were just, I mean, they would literally have killed him.
I know Baltimore in the early 2000s had a great defense with, their crowd, but had 85 Bears, man. That was different.
Dave Dewerson, Gary Fensick, man, they were
dudes everywhere.
And Buddy Ryan. I mean, that 46 zone that he came up with for that team.
Well, and then what's funny is you would think if anybody would do that, it would be a team coached by Buddy Ryan, who literally punched somebody as a coach. He punched Kevin Gilbride, right?
He punched the offensive coordinator of the Oilers.
On his own team.
His own offensive coordinator, that's pretty good. Wow.
I'm going to tell you what, man, back in the day, the NFL was sort of like, and by the way, Charles Martin, who did that hit, started with the Birmingham Stallions. That's crazy.
Yeah, how are the ratings better now than they were then? Football was so much, you were going to see stuff like that every week.
Oh, God, that was, Buddy Ryan was just a freak of nature for different reasons than most.
Yeah, that's true. Go look. I went and looked one time like just a highlight reel of quarterbacks in that era taking hits.
Oh.
Leonard Marshall for the Giants, he was just a monster of a human being. He hit Joe Montana so hard one time. I thought he was dead. Thought he was lit. He's dead. But he's not on the list yet. All right, getting back to it. We said Roger Staubach still alive. Earl Campbell, great.
I think he did recently die.
Still alive.
Jesus.
Earl Campbell. Still alive. I believe he's.
Well, maybe I just saw him and he looked dead.
Yeah, that may be something to that.
Because that is a man who has been through the ringer.
He's got some problems.
And every time he finished a game, he looked homeless because his jersey, everything was torn to shreds.
That's true. Frank Gifford, the old Giffer, Frank Gifford.
He's alive.
He dead. He's been dead.
God,
he's been dead for years.
Oh, he has been dead because that's okay. That's what's her name?
Monday Night Football.
Yeah. And remember, he was having that affair.
That's true.
And it was the worst, grainiest.
Was it the nanny?
It was and there was I remember it was a video like somewhere, and it wasn't like a sex tape. It was just him kissing the nanny, and it was so awkward. And I was like, I think this is bad for everybody.
Yes, that's probably true. Deacon Jones. Fearful Deacon Jones.
He's got to be dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Okay. He's dead. He's resting in peace. How about Mean Joe Green?
He's got to be dead.
Alive and well.
No, I'm going to take exception with well.
He's doing okay.
Okay.
He's got a Coke.
I bet you he would hum that
trade
Coke
it
bottle.
for his jersey.
Yeah.
He'll trade it for anything. Yeah. Trade it for his Social Security if you'll just give him a Coke at this point. Tom Dempsey. Oof. The old record holder of the longest field goal for
he had the half
years
foot?
And years. Yeah, club foot.
Well, it wasn't even a club foot. I think it was wasn't it just half a foot? Like his shoe was a square.
I think that's what a club foot is.
But I didn't know that your shoe would be his shoe.
It was specially made.
I was like, this doesn't seem like it should be fair.
He needed a cobbler.
He booted that thing, and he was a Green Bay kicker, right?
I believe he was. Yeah.
He's dead.
He's dead. He did die fairly recently. Paul Horning, another Heisman winner. Notre Dame.
Dead.
Pants fell. Stood up and his pants fell at some event.
I do remember that. He's dead.
Yeah, rest in peace. 2020 got him.
God, 2020 was bad. If you were old in 2020 and you made it, God bless you.
Yeah, you're tough as nails. Fran
You must be Chuck Bednarik. What?
Fran Tarkington, the Galloping Ghost.
He's dead.
He is alive.
Jesus. He used to do Monday Night Football.
Did he really?
Yeah. Back in the day, he did.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Lenny Dawson.
Dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah. He just died not too long ago. within the last 10
You know
years.
what's even funnier? You could go back through this list with the same people, and I'd miss most of them.
And finally, another award winner, Fred Biletnikoff. Great receiver. They called him something, the giraffe or the kangaroo
He had a
or
long
something.
neck or something.
He's some kind of.
He had a
he's
Peyton
really-
Manning neck. He's dead.
He is alive and well. Fred Biletnikoff. Still catching passes from White. No, not White Till anymore.
That'd
but,
be funny if they should have done that.
Yeah.
I like Biletnikoff. He played for the Raiders for a long
did,
time.
yeah.
I had his poster in my room. I used to love the Raiders.
Very good
too.
receiver. Yeah. All
Raiders
right,
stink.
that'll wrap up Alive or Dead. Luke continues his streak of, 33%. That ain't bad.
not bad.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad.
I'm
All
sorry
right,
for those who are offended.
Got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. A couple more segments left in today's show. Just kind of bouncing around the country a little bit. Ohio State won big. Miami won big. Penn State. How about the USC-Michigan game? We talked a little bit about that. USC, I think they thought they were in control. But when it came down to it, Michigan went on a long drive, busted about a 60-yard run.
And, boy, it was a heck of a run.
I mean, he broke a lot of tackles, but again, did it say more about USC or did it say more about Michigan?
What did it tell you about LSU? Because, Michigan's running all over them, and LSU couldn't get anything started. Now, LSU has since had a freshman.
And Texas beat the mess out of them.
Yeah. So, boy, I go back again to Texas got such a good draw in the SEC. I mean, they play Arkansas, they play Mississippi State
this weekend.
They play State this weekend. It's a 38-point favorite. They play Vandy. I think they play Kentucky. Jeez, they got the draw, man.
Somebody was looking out for them. It would appear.
Yeah.
Utah able to hold off Oklahoma State. I mean, Utah
battle
good,
of 7-year quarterbacks.
Good win for Utah. Yeah, I don't even think.
Cam Rising played.
I think he got knocked out of the
he
game. Kansas State gets obliterated by BYU.
Look, it's funny. I saw CBS in their projection. They have BYU now getting into the playoff as the Big 12 champ, and they don't have the SEC champ being one of the top 4 seeds because they feel like they'll cannibalize each other. Look, I'll tell you right now, if Georgia, Bama, Texas, Tennessee, any of them are 11-2 in the SEC champ, they're getting one of the top 4 seeds. You can bank on that, 100%.
Well, I mean, again, you load up that second level with SEC teams.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I don't care who's coming in there to their home.
Yeah.
They're not going to win.
No.
I mean, so.
Well, I mean, just think about that. That was the other thing is I think they had Tennessee making it, Bama, Georgia, and Texas. And then, like, Missouri right on the cusp. Now, Missouri just dropped out because they and maybe Ole Miss. Whew. I mean, if the SEC if you were to have this 12-team playoff and the SEC get 5 or 6 in there, which they could, and they probably deserve it right now, they've got 6 of the top 7 teams in the country, according to the AP, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. Who do you think in the country outside of Ohio State, take Ohio State out of the equation, who's beating right now Georgia, Bama, Texas, Ole Miss, or Tennessee? Now, I'm going to leave Missouri out because obviously they've had a few scares, Boston College at home, Vandy at home. I get that. But I'm saying who's beating those teams?
I hadn't seen anybody in the ACC or the Big 12 that would scare me.
Notre Dame? I mean, no. I'm joking.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's the way it should be.
Okay. Let's see. Louisville, they play Notre Dame this week, I believe.
That is a big game.
That is a big game.
And, I'm not going to get to watch any of it, but it's a big game.
Clemson bounces back with 59 points against your Wolfpack.
Don't they do this? This is what they do, right?
Is that what they do? Mm-hmm. Is that some kind of...
They should be the ears down now. Just.
How about Illinois going into corn country? And that's a big win for Burt.
It's not only a big win. I didn't know this. This game was so big for Nebraska at the beginning. When they made the high school schedules, everybody played on Thursday night so that in Lincoln, so that nobody would have a conflict.
Mm.
That's pretty cool.
Look, I mean, it was an overtime game. It was a close game. It was a typical type Big Ten, maybe an old-fashioned Big Ten type game. Illinois got it done when they had to get it done. So give them credit. They were a little bit better.
And now they travel into Penn State, right?
And Penn State hadn't looked that good.
It is Illinois at Penn State, right?
It is.
Yeah. It goes back to Brett Bielema. Look, it wasn't a fit. I don't know how it wasn't a fit at Arkansas. I think I do know how. I take that back because you can't do all that stuff in the SEC. There's too many good teams that beat you up, But in the Big Ten, things move a little slower. Now, it is ironic, right? Everything moves slower down here except our football.
Northern Illinois goes into Notre Dame and wins, and then loses to Buffalo at home in overtime.
And the kicker was at Alabama. He just transferred. And when he kicked it through the uprights, you see he was like knocked on his butt, and he flips off the other team. Yeah. I mean, I guess you get a flag for that because the game's over.
That guy went to Alabama?
He was at Alabama, transferred to Buffalo. can't remember his name. He had no shot to kick at Bama.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Will Reichert, then we got Graham Nicholson, but he was a walk-on, I think. But
James Madison, after beating Gardner Webb 13-6, dropped 70 on North Carolina.
And I watched this game because I thought it was fascinating. I thought it was fascinating.
70-50, they won this game.
Look, so James Madison, they go up. I think it was 15-0 or something, like maybe 11-0, and then North Carolina, bam, goes up 14-11. You're thinking, okay, this is about to get right. And the next thing you know, North Carolina could not stop them from doing anything. I think North Carolina's defensive coordinator is Jeff Collins, who was the coach at Georgia Tech.
He was the defensive coordinator at Mississippi State.
Yeah. And they were I'm talking, it was fascinating to watch because they couldn't do anything. It didn't matter what James Madison ran. And on top of that, North Carolina was moving the ball, but they kept turning the ball over. Like, they just would not catch it. They just say,
now see, if North Carolina says, well, if we hadn't just turned the ball over, you gave up 70.
Yeah, they gave up.
They don't have a right to say that.
I think they scored in every facet of the game.
That seems unlikely. James Madison, wow. And then Florida State finally got him a win.
That was a hard watch. I think Cal missed 3 field goals in that game.
Yeah, they're sting.
Yeah. I think Cal missed 3 field goals in that game. Kudos to Florida State for getting a win, but they probably didn't deserve it.
Now they go to SMU.
They go to SMU, and I'm going to tell you something. I mean, I wouldn't feel good about that.
Oh, no, they're underdogs. But I watched Pony Excess, my favorite 30 for 30.
Oh, really?
That is just so it's just so good. It reminds – it's so 80s, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to get away. All right, you got to take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice! Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Dadeville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing.
At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at DunningRoofingAL.com for more information.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Braves draw one game closer, one game back at the Mets. So we'll see what happens tomorrow and on Thursday. So that'll be very interesting to see how this series comes out. Very, very important.
Well, speaking of DNA,
for the Atlanta Braves,
this is going to be a no-brainer. Braves win the series. Mets out. They just can't do anything.
Yeah, we'll see. I think the Braves finish up with the Royals, and I believe the Mets finish up with the Brewers. So
Brewers are good.
Two pretty good. The Royals are good. So
are they? Are they going to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think they're pretty good. So, or they're on the border, I believe. So, anyway, closing things out this segment. We're a bit behind because Luke likes to talk. All right, Colorado at Central Florida. Central Florida is 14.5.
Come on, Gus.
At home. 14.5.
Don't let Deion do it to you, Gus.
Yeah, I mean,
this Deion experiment just feels like it's holding on by a thread, doesn't it?
I would agree, but this is – I mean, it took a Hail Mary to beat Baylor.
I know.
Okay, so Florida State at SMU. SMU's 5.5. Can
I like SMU.
Florida State get 2 wins in a row?
I don't think so. Not if they're going to start DJU.
Oklahoma State at Kansas State. This is a top 20.
Yeah, I like Kansas State to bounce back and Oklahoma State to get another loss.
Illinois at Penn State. Penn State's 17.5. That seems big.
But take Illinois in the points.
Yeah.
They'll slow this puppy up.
15, number 15 versus number 16. Louisville is at Notre Dame. They're 6.
I mean, I guess I picked Notre Dame, but it wouldn't shock me at all if Louisville wins this game.
Really? I think Louisville's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kentucky is at number 6 Ole Miss. I guess that's the first real team. Which Kentucky team will show up? I don't know.
The one that's going to get beat.
No, that's probably 17.5 is the line.
Yeah, I like Kentucky in the points, but I think Ole Miss beats them.
Yeah, that's probably true. 11 o'clock on ABC. A lot of games at 2:30. Colorado, Central Florida at 2:30. Louisville at Notre Dame at 2:30. Arkansas is at number 24 Texas A&M.
That's must watch TV every day.
Aggies are a 4-point favorite in that.
I'm going to tell you, Sam Pittman, don't fail me now. I like Sam Pittman to win in this one.
Texas A&M barely beat Bowling Green. Now Bowling Green they gave Penn State all they wanted to,
and they have a tight end
in Happy Valley. Badass. So apparently Bowling Green's not a bad team, but 26-20.
You know, everybody's going to have Georgia barely beat Kentucky. Everybody's going to have their moments, but I like, come on, Arkansas. I'm pulling for you, Sam. Make it happen, Captain.
You know good and well they'll lose this game.
But you know why?
To spite me.
No, and also.
And Auburn.
And DNA.
DNA.
They lose this game every year. But
DNA is something that is – it's something that's in you when you're born. You know, normally, if we're taking the analogy out, this is a recent development, it would seem, for Auburn. This is like a disease more than it is DNA.
Y'all grew up these last few years. Y'all moved near a nuclear power plant.
Apparently, maybe there's something to that. Oklahoma is a 2.5-point favorite at Auburn. This one at 2:30 on ABC.
I'm going to tell you, I think Auburn wins this game. I really do. I think the line is begging you to take Oklahoma. Whenever I see 2.5, I always think go the other way because they're saying like, hey, come on, it's just field goal, a little less than field goal, right? And I always think it favors the other team. course, I'm always the sucker that bets on the 2.5. I mean, I do it the wrong way, but I'm saying in my mind, I'm like, if I were smart, I'd go the other way. Luckily, I'm not smart.
Mississippi, you just set your dial to ABC. You get Kentucky, Ole Miss at 11, Auburn and Oklahoma at 2:30, and then number 2 Georgia is a 2-point favorite heading into Tuscaloosa. This one's 6:30 on ABC.
I don't know who the guest picker is going to be, but I think most Alabama fans are in
the guest what? Oh,
picker. The guest picker. We're in agreement that we don't want it to be Joe Willie Namath again. Love Joe Willie. He's iconic.
Alive or dead?
He's alive. Well, goddamn, if it's him and he's a guest picker.
I think that's debatable.
Yeah, but yeah, Joe Willie's awesome, and I think he'll be there. I want him to be there. But, you know, who I'm leaning? Julio Jones.
Okay.
I think it'll be an excellent guest picker. Some people have thrown out Nate Oates. I'm like, I don't think it's time for that yet. I think we got to do something a little different. And I mean, there's, you know, Channing Tatum. He grew up in Coleman, big Alabama fan, but you know, he's never really shown interest in doing that before. So I don't know if he'd do it now. You know, I don't know. But it seems like I want to make a splash with this one. I think Julio would do it because, you know, the 2008 game, the blackout, the whole thing, you know, all that. So I think that'd be cool.
Okay. I hadn't watched Game Day in so long, I don't even.
Their viewership is through the roof this year.
Really?
Oh, it's killing it.
Is it because of the
It's not because of the expanded
McAfee?
playoffs.
Is it because
I think it's McAfee
Saban?
and Saban. I think it's that combo is fun.
They've got like 17 people on the panel.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, that combo, though, is fun. I mean, I've seen, if you watch Twitter during game day, there'll be people on Twitter going, you know, I hated Nick Saban when he was a coach. I hated that he won. I didn't like his attitude. He said, but I learned something every time I watch game day. And then there are like people who say, I like the opposite dynamic of these two.
And he's not afraid to drop a deuce every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently.
Mississippi State's at Texas, which I didn't even put that on the list.
It's minus 38.
But, yeah.
And
in South Alabama, don't sleep on South Alabama, but they're at LSU.
They put up 87 on somebody.
But Georgia and Alabama, who you like? What are you going with?
I'm telling you, I mean, I have a right mind to pick Georgia. I really do. I worry first game, you know, first big game at home. A lot of pressure. But I'm going to pick Bama, and I want it to be right. I want to be right. But I'm telling you, I respect the heck out of Georgia. I think it's going to be a tight game.
I think it should be a fourth quarter game. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. I have no idea. You want me to do it?
Feel free.
Alabama's not man enough to beat Georgia.
Thank you. I'm sure they heard this. They get Channel 2 there, don't they?
This is in HD, man. We're in the 800s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so there's probably some more games, but those are the only ones that are really of any interest to us. So should be a fun weekend. Lots of big games. We'll see what happens. And hey, if you run out of room for college football, there's always the last series of the year in Major League Baseball. Before we get to the playoffs.
It's going to be on Bravo. Go ahead.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. We're going to do it a little early tonight because, again, we were a little bit behind on our breaks. And
that's what happens when you have a poor host.
We absolutely want to take care of our sponsorship, despite the talent, if you call it that. He is Luke Robinson. I am Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama is looking to see you today. Now, let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now, they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscar's, Highway 49 South in Dadeville. 256-825-4827.
The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rate. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekend. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
At Team One Hyundai, it's the Summer Savings Sales Event. All new Hyundais will be sold at employee pricing, plus an unheard of $1,000 bonus for your trade-in. See our huge selection of new and pre-owned inventory at team1hyundai.com. Don't miss the summer savings with employee pricing, plus a $1,000 bonus for your trade. Team One Hyundai of Gadsden, where the experience exceeds your expectations.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Announcing Camping World's Inflation Buster camping program. You can now get into a new RV starting at just $98 a month. We won't let the economy steal your camping season. Take advantage of this very limited time offer and lock in your low monthly payment today.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need. With top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindawa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill. And our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
SignSource is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
With summer here, the kids out of school, and fun at the lake, illness or injury can strike at any time. Whether you're on vacation or just don't have time to go see your primary doctor, visit your friends and professionals at Ivy Creek Urgent Care, located at Highway 49 South, next to Stillwater's main entrance. With a rotation of 4 professional doctors and 3 nurse practitioners, they honor all walk-ins, get you in, properly treated, and out swift so you can be back to the summer fun fast. When you need urgent, see Ivy Creek Urgent Care, Daveville. No appointment needed.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor wants you to know the only thing hotter than the summer on the lake is the hot incentives with all Mahindra tractors and farm implements and tough Spartan mowers. Right now, get the year's hottest deals on Mahindra with financing up to 84 months or 0%. Speaking of zero, see the huge selection of zero-turn Spartan mowers with 0% interest, financing up to 60 months. See the lake's authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer, Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, for deals that sizzle all season long.
Summertime is a special time. Time on the water, time away from work, and more time with family and friends. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
With summer here, the kids out of school, and fun at the lake, illness or injury can strike at any time. Whether you're on vacation or just don't have time to go see your primary doctor, visit your friends and professionals at Ivy Creek Urgent Care, located at Highway 49 South, next to Stillwater's main entrance. With a rotation of 4 professional doctors and 3 nurse practitioners, they honor all walk-ins, get you in, properly treated, and out swift so you can be back to the summer fun fast. When you need urgent, see Ivy Creek Urgent Care, Daveville. No appointment needed.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor wants you to know the only thing hotter than the summer on the lake is the hot incentives with all Mahindra tractors and farm implements and tough Spartan mowers. Right now, get the year's hottest deals on Mahindra with financing up to 84 months or 0%. Speaking of zero, see the huge selection of zero-turn Spartan mowers with 0% interest, financing up to 60 months. See the lake's authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer, Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, for deals that sizzle all season long.
Summertime is a special time. Time on the water, time away from work, and more time with family and friends. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And AHSAA Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the AHSAA Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from AHSAA Honda in Sylacauga.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.